Music? Okay. Welcome back to another episode of the Embassy Talks podcast. Uh, Sorry for the delay, slight delay, live audience. We're taking care of something. All right. Let's start off with church announcements. And well, first off, how are you, Jade? And also, do you have any church announcements?
I don't have any church announcements. Doing good though. Gonna be a busy weekend for me. Got stuff to do Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Um, so I was like, yeah, but gonna go. That's just a personal note. Gonna go see Sinners.
Oh, me
So I
too.
can't wait. Yes, and I get to see it in the 70 millimeter.
Oh,
So we have one of the because we have one of the theaters for that. But so excited about that. Trying to think what else. Um, hmm. Outside of work and school, and outside of work and school, I don't have much going on. uh, I'm trying to think. Other than therapy was therapying today, so that was great. Got a new therapist. She's wonderful so
nice.
far. I was like, yeah, sorry. Sorry, y'all. Life stuff. Okay. It's working now. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it was like technical issues because technically anything can be difficult.
True.
Um, yes. But yes. Let's see. Yeah, I have a photo shoot Saturday, movie Sunday. Um, Friday I'm getting my hair done. So it's just gonna be busy. Me outside the house. And then next con, I won't be at Boston, but Mike will be in Boston. Um, and let me think what else. Uh, and then Boston and DreamCon is coming up. Philly Ekbach Con is coming up. So I'll be at that. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And school, struggling through that because
Good for you.
yeah, yeah. How are you?
Um, Good overall. I'm tinkering with stuff. Okay. Good overall. Just been busy with both content and regular work and life stuff. Church announcements from me. Uh, I have nothing. We have nothing. Um, Outside of Embassy Talks is now on YouTube, so you can search Embassy Talks. And you might have to dig, but you should see the little Pantheon symbol that's purple and turquoise. Um, so if you want to see, for those of you listening wherever podcasts are found, if you want to see the video version, be sure to go to YouTube. We'll be uploading the podcasts after free record live. Usually by that Saturday of the same week. Because we record on Thursdays typically. So, um, I have nothing. All right. Expect my news to be minimal until June. We have a solid docket. All right. solid docket today. So talking Fyre Fest, Franco-Haitian Commission. Creator Hub updates, of course, for content creators. Blue Origin flights, specifically with Gil King and Katy Perry. Why Marvin Sapp is the well, I won't say the best, but why Marvin Sapp is really good at marketing apparently, and um, oh, Keri Hilson speaks her truth, and Chinese distributors are petty, but we low key kind of appreciate it. All right, so for our news beat, um, let's start off with Fyre Fest 2, which was announced. I think it's definitely been over a year ago now. That they were doing a Fyre Fest 2, but it's been postponed and tickets have been refunded and no new date has been announced. So this was meant to be the sequel to the, if you remember, disastrous 2017 festival of the same name, the original Fyre Fest that where two documentaries were made, one on Netflix and one on Hulu. There are probably more, but those two were just the most memorable. Kind of carried us. No, that was like pre-pandemic, but it was a thing. Um, and it was slated to take place this time in Mexico from May 30th to June 2nd. But according to ABC News, organizers sent a message to customers stating that the event has been postponed and a new date will be announced. And that they've issued a refund. And once the new date is announced at that time, you can repurchase if it works for your schedule. So, in case you don't know or don't remember what Fyre Fest was, or how it came to be, it was the brainchild of Billy McFarland, who spent nearly 4 years in prison after being convicted of wire fraud for defrauding investors out of $27.4 million with the first Fyre Festival. The second iteration of the event was already off to a rocky start after tickets went on sale in February, when the Island Mujeres government said that no permits had been approved for the fest. So that's probably one of the reasons why it's been postponed. Um, in case you're wondering if it'll be cheaper than the first Fyre Fest, the answer is no. Um, Tickets to Fyre Fest 2 were priced starting at $1,400 for general admission. Those looking up the ante were offered VIP access for $5,000, artist access for a larger $25,000, and a Prometheus God of Fire package Prometheus got a fire package at 1.1 million. So this option, the Prometheus God of Fire, which the festival site had claimed was already sold out, was intended for 8 people with amenities, including a 4 stateroom yacht and 24/7 private chauffeur service. Um. So yeah. So if y'all were curious about Fyre Fest 2, yeah, it's been postponed, but they're saying that a new date's going to be announced at some point. So yeah, any thoughts, Jade?
They ain't had no 8 people with the $8
They
million. They lying,
might have. They might have.
lying, big lying. I want to see these 8 people step up. Oh,
You got
but no.
you got millionaires and billionaires being on rockets, so there is a chance that there might have been 8 millionaires or billionaires buying the Prometheus God of Fire package.
If they were smart, and they usually are, because they have money managers, they'd be like, "No, what is this? This was a scam last time. No." Uh,
Fair.
but but yeah, it's like I don't know why anybody would want to attend this after they know the first one was disastrous, and the second one is looking like it's about to just be a direct repeat.
Yes.
So no. Um, yeah, it looks a hot mess. It reeks of a hot mess. I feel like it's gonna stay a hot mess. I think because wasn't he like trying to plan this from while he was in jail still?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm like, it's a mess. It's It's so scammy. And he's just like, no, it's real. It's so scammy. At least they got their money back this time.
True.
Like, bright side.
Well,
Bright side. They learned.
technically, in the first Fyre Fest, like it something was there, just not what they were expecting. So, they just took the money and ran. This time, there's not even an event right now. So,
But yeah, it's a hotmess.com.
so we'll see. We'll see. I was saying earlier, I kind of hope this kind of goes through just so I can watch from the wings. And if it's bad and stupidity ensues like it did the first time, I would like a follow-up documentary. But all right, anything else before we move on?
Not on that fraudulent festival.
All right, up next. France's president Emmanuel Macron says making Haiti pay for its independence was unjust. So Emmanuel Macron says he was set up a commission to study French Haitian history and the impact of a huge debt imposed on Haiti in exchange for its independence exactly 200 years ago. The panel of French and Haitian historians would make recommendations to help build a more peaceful future. For a little back history, Haiti gained independence from France in 1804, but in 1825, France under King Charles X ordered that the former colony pay 150 million gold francs, later reduced to 90 million, to compensate French slave owners and secure an end to hostilities. The debt, which was not paid off until 1947, is highly suspected of contributing to Haiti becoming one of the poorest and most unstable countries in the Americas. Is that all I had? Okay, yeah. So I will say I appreciate Macron at least going out with a bang. And setting up this commission. So if you were potentially wondering, like if you had heard rumblings that, Haiti fought for its independence and was one of the first free, mostly black countries, that is correct. However, if you were wondering how they go from there to the instability that we see these days, that is a huge reason why, because it's been in debt, so it didn't have a chance to really lift itself up. And when a whole country is in debt, and it's also trying to figure out what freedom is, we kind of have a perfect storm that leads to a lot of corruption and a lot of corruption and violence and instability overall, unfortunately. So, I guess get on France for trying on the surface. I'll say that. Now, if this commission will actually go through, who knows? But at least it's like they're trying on the surface. So I guess countries can set up commissions, or presidents can set up commissions before they leave office. Anywho, but your thoughts on this?
I was like, I love when a politician's just being a little zesty before they're on their way out,
Right.
and be like, but it's one of those like you colonized and then made them pay for their freedom.
Right.
So it's like, yes, it was unjust. I'm glad it's one of those things where black people know and then everybody else is catching up.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, because no matter what Haitians tell you, they're black.
Right.
They're black. You're black. Just like, I'm sorry, Dominicans, you're black. You're black.
The Dominicans are going to come for us in the comments, but okay.
They are like, you're black. I'm sorry. If you didn't know, I'm sorry. I had to be the one to tell you you're black. You check off that box just as well. Um,
That they
but
do.
no, um, but no, it's good that they're recognizing it. But then it's one thing to recognize it; it's another thing to do something about it because it's an unstable country, and the more just thing to do would be to not not wholehearted, not just like give the money back, be like, boom, here you go,
Yeah,
excess
yeah.
money to the country, but some way of giving back to them, um, and help maybe stabilize them more. Um, that would be the smart thing to do, in my opinion. Um, but yeah, I think that's what should happen.
Yeah. I think I'm trying to remember when the French elections are. I think they're 2027, might be 2026. So, but as within the next couple of years, Macron has to step down. So with the French elections coming up, it'll be kind of interesting to see if this commission will even remain, depending on who wins. I don't know if France is getting tired of status quo like politicians. So I mean, clearly there's been an uprising trend in like far right politics, but I'm not sure if France will actually go that route with their elections in the next couple of years, especially because it is a year or two off. So a lot may change by then because things are changing. It seems like every day. So yeah, we'll see. Anything else though?
On that, no.
Cool, cool. All right. Creator Hub for content creation updates, starting with Twitch. An update to Twitch's terms of service included a section about giving users a full license to use your content however they want. This is because Twitch introduced a share feature, and you can disable this function in your clips section. It should actually be automatically disabled because I just checked. I checked on my account before we started. Just be aware. To yeah, don't give other users license to use your content. However, it's that button that says users can like use clips to can take my clips and post on their social media or something to that effect. Um, so yeah, be aware. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. Uh, I have opinions about. I don't know why that's a thing, but here we are. Next up, Dextero reporting says that viewers are still paying and subscribed to indefinitely suspended streamers, which goes against Twitch's guidelines, which say indefinite suspension subs are canceled before renewal. Um, so someone at Twitch headquarters is not canceling those subs. Um, Twitch will soon launch the Clips leaderboard and reward the top 3 Clippers by views in chats with a unique chat badge. This functionality mimics the bits and gifts sub leader in being duration based and channel specific. Another group of streamers are being subjected to the Ghost Train experiment going on right now, which sees hype trains start for non-monetary activity. So that's what makes it different from regular hype trains. So that's why in the bylines it's like it starts randomly because it's not based on bits or subs. Um, but more so like non-monetary activity. I guess like a hype chat, like a chat really going. I don't know. But yeah. And then another new experiment is testing recommended categories in the sidebar. Your thoughts on the Twitch updates before we move to YouTube and TikTok?
Good for Twitch on allowing you to say no, you can't use my content however you so choose. So that's good. Um, It's hilarious that they're still having people pay for these subs even though this channel is banned, and you would think that that would be an automatic process to turn off, but yet somehow that's not a part of the part of the programming that was written. So it's just like, y'all better fix that. Somebody better fix that. Uh, so it's like, yeah. Um, but Twitch all around is doing. Y'all are not doing bad right now. I'll
they
say that.
they doing regular.
Mm-hmm. Like y'all are doing okay.
Yeah. All right. YouTube news. In YouTube news, they are significantly improving the Shorts editor, including precision adjustments to edit timing, zooming, snapping, and rearranging clips. It's also introducing music sync clips, new templates, and image stickers. A new test autoplays videos when you launch the app. And as a comment, the TikTokification of YouTube and YouTube Shorts will continue until retention increases on that site overall. Um, for on the policy side, gender identity was removed from YouTube's hate speech policy, but the platform claims it's just an edit to the copy and discrimination or edit to the copy. And discrimination is still against the rules. Um, on that, I I mean, that might be a PR statement, but what I think is actually happening is that they are still like enforcing it, but they're not saying they're enforcing it, much like some stores are like removing DEI and just trying to do it through actions or being like, well, we're still going to have these activations. Some, not all. So yeah. Um, And YouTube intends to support the No Fakes Act by allowing creators to submit takedowns for content using their face or voice and by launching new tools to help creators detect AI depictions of them on YouTube. Um, and then YouTube may be launching daily timer to slow down your shorts doom scrolling. I really don't watch shorts like that. I don't know if I've well, I don't really have time. That's really it. Uh to doom scroll. That's pretty much it. But good on them for having a daily timer to slow down the doom scrolling. Quick TikTok update. China canceled the TikTok deal as a result of Trump's global tariffs. However, Trump has extended the non-enforcement of the ban for an additional 75 days. He extended that last week, actually. Yeah, last week. Um, all right. Thoughts on the YouTube and TikTok front?
Um, Good on YouTube for the No Fakes Act. So that way they actually actively doing something
Mm,
to help stop the use of AI, because AI is the worst.
it
People,
is.
it's so terrible. Um, so and then people who justify it, it has its time and place, and certain things like making content,
Yeah,
that's not the place for AI. That's no, that's
right.
not what it should be used for. Especially when you're monetizing off of it, it's like you're monetizing off of somebody else's voice, off of somebody else's likeness. It's not even original. um so it's just like, um I don't like the timer on the slowdown. I don't scroll through YouTube Shorts,
Yeah.
but that would be like, I'm just thinking like how if I'm going through Instagram, that's what I do and scroll through. Um, but if they put a timer on it, I would be devastated. Cause I'm like, no, let me scroll in peace. Let me just, that's my decompression time. Let me just scroll through. And yeah. Um, but yeah, um, with TikTok, eh, they're not banning that thing. It's gonna keep getting pushed back. I swear. It's gonna keep it's somebody, because what happened was somebody did something. It's like a kid where you did something and then now you're trying to fix it,
Mm-hmm.
but you keep delaying it over and over again. And it's just like, well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And it's like, are you though? Are you? So yeah, it's just like, so you're gonna ban it, but you're the one who said you were gonna ban it, and then you're trying to fix it, scrambling to fix it, but now you have to keep up with, like, but you said you're gonna ban it, so what's it gonna be? And
Mm-hmm.
then you're using your power to keep pushing it back. So I'm like, so yeah.
Yeah. All right. And then in broader creator industry news, Threads may soon allow you to add multiple links to your profile. Threads is now rolling out the ability to find your Twitter followers. Um, and on the Twitter side, Twitter will soon sell inactive usernames to verified organizations for the low price of $10,000, starting at $10,000. And parody accounts on Twitter must now have their name say fake or parody or not first. They also can't use the same profile picture as the person or company they parody, which I don't know. If you didn't take away the verification system that was already in place, we wouldn't have to go through this, but okay. Um, but also thoughts on that before we move on to just don't care stuff.
Yeah, it's the fact that you took away the verification system and then just made it up for grabs for anybody to have a check mark, which I'm not complaining because I love my check mark. It helps me edit tweets when I need to tweet and then fix something. um, it's like, yes, that's actually very helpful. I do pay for that. But yeah, for them to be like, there are so many parody accounts and all that. Um, so for them, I don't know how they're actually going to enforce that. Because there are so many.
Right.
Um, to where are y'all actually going to go through these individual ones unless companies like report it? Are you going to go through these individual ones and being like, that's not KFC, that's fake KFC. They don't have the gold check mark, so this is just the blue one, so that means that's a fake account. But they didn't put fake in front of their name, so I'm like, unless somebody actually, like I said, reports it,
Yeah.
how is that going to happen? Um, and threads, I don't use.
Really?
So that has Yeah, I don't. I I downloaded it when it first came out, and then I deleted it when it first came out.
I've been dipping my toe in it a bit lately, because it just kept popping up on my Instagram feed, and people would have these interesting takes as like, oh, I want to see more and be nosy, and then I kind of got sucked
Yes.
in. Like I scroll on it. I don't post. I post here and there, but it really be like the most randomest shit. Um, so I guess my random musings have like moved to threads. They were on Blue Sky for a bit, and I still post on Blue Sky, but it's mainly creator stuff for gaming. Um, but yeah, random just thoughts. I don't know. I guess I just post on threads. Um, so yeah, but I don't. I also haven't like promoted my threads at all, so I don't necessarily want to see virality off of it. I don't think.
Mm.
Eh, but yeah, no, I be using threads here and there. Like I said, I get lost in the scrolling because I just want to be nosy. Especially, I didn't put this on the docket because I was like that video pissed me off when I saw it on Kev on stage. When Kev on stage and Angel covered it, I was like, and I like saw and heard the video that it pissed me off enough to be like, I no. But that one pastor in Georgia, you know what I'm talking about?
Uh-uh.
He basically said, uh, it pissed me off so much I kind of blanked on the actual word, so I can't even remember anymore. But he basically was saying that the Bible said that you need to be that black kids need to be obedient so that they don't get shot or tased or all that by white cop. It was wild. If you heard the whole
That is
thing,
the wildest.
yeah, and the bad part is that was kind of the worst thing he said, but there were a lot of close seconds in the video clip of the sermon, because I'm sure his sermon was longer, but the clip was like 2 to 2.5 minutes. So yeah, yeah, it was a whole thing. Anyway, long story short, that I saw that so much that is how I kind of got sucked into Threads. And then I saw other stuff that I was like, oh, that wasn't as enraging. It was a black pastor, if you were wondering. Yeah. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
That old school.
He's youngish though, but
no,
he's not 20 something. I would say upper 30s, early 40s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I would think this was coming from somebody in their 60s.
Nope.
And up.
Nope.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's ignorance knows no age.
Or color.
Or color. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy work.
It was a whole thing.
I'm glad I missed that one. Yeah.
It was a whole thing. But it definitely would have opened up well, I know for me that wouldn't have been my and this is why I don't go to church, because it's like, well, no, that I've had other reasons before then. But it didn't really help. Is my point. Anywho. Oh, we were tangenting because we were talking about Threads. All right, back to Threads. Because you were saying you didn't use it.
Yeah, like I'm with you on you'll see something interesting when you're on Instagram and then it's for a thread and I'd be wanting to like click on it and be like, oh yeah, and then as soon as I click on it, then it's like and download Threads. I'm like, no.
Oh, okay. See, I already have it downloaded, so I was just like, oh, I click on it and the app open. Dang it! Now I gotta scroll to see what the comments say. Okay.
Now I'm just like, if it's not integrated in it, I ain't doing it. So yeah.
All right. Anything else in Creator Hub news before we move on?
Who's yawning? So no, not on Creator Hub.
Okay. All right, our nominees for this week's version of Just Don't Care or So Do We Care. Let's talk about this all woman Blue Origin flight debacle. So what happened was an all woman crew, including CBS Morning's anchor Gayle King, pop star Katy Perry, and journalist and philanthropist Lauren Sanchez took it. So this article from Yahoo said 8-minute. I thought they kept saying 11-minute. We'll say 8 to 11-minute trip into space. Clearly there were 6 women who took this flight. And one of the women, I actually don't know if it was the philanthropist Lauren Sanchez or somebody else. I think it was somebody else. Someone else actually had a really inspiring story because they were a dang it, I don't know if I can say on YouTube or not. They were a sexual assault survivor. And they went to Harvard. They had delayed their I think they either delayed their education or they delayed this opportunity, but she actually um had been wanting to do this and was an advocate for survivors and it would have been a great story had it not been clouded by Gail King and Katy Perry. But so that's just one of the points of like it's kind of it sounded good on surface, but it was a lot of missed opportunities and missteps on the way. So although the purpose was meant to bring attention to women in aeronautics, the flight uh, that was through the space tech company that Jeff Bezos owns also drew plenty of criticism, even from other celebrities. So part of the criticism, and this is why Katy Perry isn't, I'm including Katy Perry specifically. Part of the criticism was that when Katy Perry was on the flight with the other women, like basically she was using this as promo opportunity to promote her new album. Um, I think it was like she like featured an album list or something, was showing it off or something while they were in space. So she took the opportunity to do that, basically using it as kind of a promotional thing. And then the other side of it was just like in an era where eggs are over $10 and now we got to worry about how much more prices are going to rise because of tariffs and because people's stocks and bonds are kind of very wonky right now. It's like not now, now's not the time. But when reached for comment, Gail King said Blue Origin's intention was to figure out a way. She was really interested in Blue Origin's intentions, which was to figure out a way to harness the waste here and put it in space to make Earth a better place. And that she wishes people would do more due diligence. And then she said, "My question is, have y'all been to space? Go to space or go to Blue Origin and see what they do, and then come and then come back and say this is a terrible thing." One, she didn't look all. I mean, she basically looked like she wanted to kiss the ground, and that she didn't really enjoy the flight. That was a bit harrowing. So it's kind of rich to say go to space and see what they do, and then come back and say this is a terrible thing when now you've been memed of looking tired and that you were fighting your whole life. And then two, to say go to space and go to Blue Origin is like above our tax bracket. Yeah, it's very tone deaf.
It's very much like I think she forgets that we're not all Oprah's best friend
Yeah.
and we don't have oodles of money to do these things. So while the world is in disarray, y'all are going to space as millionaires for a fun ride. And yeah, like you said, eggs are $10. Like, no,
um
ma'am.
yeah. Now I will say, to add nuance, I do understand it was kind of emotional for specifically women around her and even maybe Katy Perry's age, just because we learned about it in school, but we didn't see it live. But the Challenger blowing up in '86 was also, I think it was a woman led flight. I don't think it was all women, but yeah, Challenger blowing up in '86, and then another spacecraft when it came down, not imploded, but broke apart in '03. That one we did see live. So I get it in that sense of why something like this would be kind of emotional, but it's still at this point in time kind of tone deaf. If we were living somewhat more stable times, then it would be like, oh, okay, cool. But yeah, no.
Yeah. It's I think they mean well, but you have to remember these regular people, these regular, I'm not in part of the 1% people, uh, like your fan base, your everything that um, watches you do these things, and we're more worried about the world and about people are worried about making sure that they're not going to get deported or buying eggs or like making sure schools you won't get fired because you're teaching history the correct way versus what they want you to teach. And it's like these are real world problems, and what you're complaining about is a very first world problem.
Yes. Um. Oh, also, no, we shouldn't be launching our trash into space.
Correct. I was like, that's have movies not taught us anything?
Clearly not.
Yeah. I was like, how about we learn how to reduce waste
It's like
and not put it in space to where it's like, oh, we're just gonna throw it out here and keep it rolling. No.
I feel like a lot of people tinkering around the space sector will not be happy until they see up close and personal aliens, um, who might turn them to stone or something, or worse. Or if it's not
Yeah.
if it's not humanoid aliens, it's giant space spiders. One or the other or both.
Look, I already think that the only reason why we don't see aliens is because they see us and they're like, y'all are ghetto. And they don't want to associate with they are literally they are in space right now clutching their bursts when they have to go near Earth and like it's ghetto down there. No. I was like, so
Yeah.
I feel like that's the only reason why we don't know about aliens at this point. So and y'all want to put trash in the atmosphere now. That sounds dumb.
Yeah. All right. Well, you try Blue Origin. Maybe next time.
All I can say, the only thing Blue Origin has going for them is at least they aren't Elon.
True. Yes.
That's
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 pretty
the
much it.
minimum.
Bare minimum. All right. Why Marvin Sapp might be a marketing genius. So we talked about it briefly on the last podcast, but the whole closed the door controversy where where Marvin Sapp was doing the it's not really a sermon, but I don't know. But was talking about the offering, and he was telling his ushers to close the door and said it quite in a quite commanding tone. And it just how it came off, it was like it felt like people were being held there until they gave their $20. Because yeah, he was saying, was it yeah, $20. Because if we can get, was it 1,000? Yeah, 1,000 in the room and then 1,000 online to get the $40,000 for the church, which I'm assuming it's for the church, which is like understandable, but the way he was saying close them doors and we ain't leaving till y'all give $20 was hilarious. All right, so that happened about 3 weeks ago, that whole controversy, where it was a little discourse, but really it was just kind of memeing and laughing. Some people were like legit pissed, but that's the internet, so that's always gonna happen. So after all this happened a few weeks ago, Marvin Sapp this week announced that he's releasing a new song called "Close the Door" for Good Friday, which is this weekend. So driving them gospel sales up.
I know, just good. If anybody can turn lemons into lemonade, It's a good southern. It's a black person. They gonna turn something out of nothing, rub two nickels together, all that.
Yes.
Oh, it, yeah. That's funny. That's all that is. It's comical.
I applaud it from a marketing standpoint. It's like, good on you for pivoting. All right. Moving right along to weekly roundup. Uh, Miss Keri, uh, aka Keri Hilson, Miss Keri baby. So she was on the Breakfast Club last week and finally was able to speak her truth, specifically about how this whole beef with Beyonce started, why she went at her in the remix of Turning Me On. And so basically what happened was in her interview with the Breakfast Club, that the decision to shade Beyonce like clearly it negatively impacted her career. That happened, and then we never heard from Keri again except a couple of cast when she was casting a couple of movies basically. Um she's probably still been releasing music this whole time. It's just that because of the backlash from her shading Beyonce on that song, she was just kind of blacklisted. So her streams, her albums probably didn't really get publicity like that. So like I said, outside being cast in a few roles on some movies, and maybe a show or two, but definitely she was on a couple of movies. Didn't really hear much from her all this time until last week. But she definitely said she regretted it, and she denied that she wrote the song, and basically said that it was Esther Dean, who is a songwriter who writes for a lot of artists. But it was Esther Dean who wrote that song and, wrote those lines that were shading Beyonce. And she also said that part of the blame belonged to Polo. That's how she said it. Who was her producer. He basically was like, "You're gonna do this, or you're blackballed." So it when looking back, it was like, well, damn, she might as well not have done it because she was blackballed anyway. Um, but Esther Dean, it was kind of funny how she confirmed it. Because when the clip of Keri Hilson's interview with the Breakfast Club was out, like on socials and stuff, Esther Dean took to I think it was the Instagram, but took to Instagram to post, yeah, that was me, kind of like unapologetically at first, and then she followed up later, kind of penning this long open letter apology, saying that um it wasn't she was just writing, she was just in the process of writing a lot, and she was writing a lot of songs, and she didn't necessarily mean anything by it. She was just trying to make that money, uh and yeah, and she like had apologized to Keri Hilson, and for like all the backlash that she ended up having to take, because at the time Keri didn't like say, no, Esther Dean wrote it, or no, Polo made me like sing those words. Like she took it on her all on herself when the backlash was happening in real time. So that happened, but beef is settled, and yeah, I I think she's releasing her album, or was it a song? I think it was an album. Either this Friday or last Friday. I forgot to check on that. But yeah. Anything on Keri speaking her truth about this though?
What song was this even for? Because I was.
It was a song Turning Me On, and
So that's funny because I'm looking at Turning Me On and it says written by Keri Hilson.
yeah, so she had to say that she wrote, that's why I was like, she took it all on herself. Yeah.
So I'm like, it don't say nowhere on here Estradine, but I digress. Um, and I didn't remember anything in that song being like a diss.
I didn't either at first, but they played the song on Breakfast Club. I'm not about to play it because I'm not about to get struck on Twitch.
Yeah.
On this, so it was the remix, one, and then, da, da, da. Okay. So it was the lyrics, your vision cloudy if you think that you're the best, you can dance, you can sing, but you need to move to the left, to the left, to the left. And she mentioned something about being irreplaceable as well. So
Gotcha. Okay. That
yeah.
makes more sense now. I was like, where was this diss record from? Because all I know from Keri Hilson is when she got chopped off by the beehive.
That was
But I
it.
never knew why.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just knew that they deemed her like, nah, you got let go. And
Yeah.
but okay, so the diss record, that okay, and it was the remix.
Yeah.
That's that gives more clarity to it. Still funny. Um, still hilarious. But yeah, I guess she's making her comeback because, like I said, I think she has been releasing music and everything. It's just that nobody's been checking for it because they're afraid to go against Beyonce.
Right.
And it's like when so they're like, you talked bad about the queen,
Right.
you will go down forever. Um, but yeah,
Yeah. So um I'm just glad she like was able to uh basically say all that and open up. Because I was very much wondering, I was like, now why did she disappear? Well, not why she disappeared, but what happened? I was like, oh, that makes a whole lot more sense. Um, all right. And then finally, there we go. Finally, Chinese distributors or Chinese suppliers expose luxury brands and made in China reality on TikTok amid this whole back and forth with tariffs specifically targeting China, because there's, I think last I checked was up to 245%. So I guess what Chinese suppliers decided to do, uh they took to TikTok and to showcase what name brand products are actually worth and ways to purchase them directly through various sites. I've seen like bits and pieces of it. I actually haven't like watched the videos, but I thought I saw it was like, these big name brands like I would say Louis Vuitton, for example. The actual cost to manufacture was like $5. Um and here we are, well, not we, because I'm not paying that, but here people are in America paying upwards to like thousand, like 4-digit numbers, like $1,000 or so dollars for something with Louis Vuitton on it. So yeah, the Chinese suppliers decide to be very, very petty. um
I love it.
so huh like I said, I haven't really like watched any of these videos. I just like heard about it tangentially and haven't really dug into it. But I was like, oh, yeah. But I'm not necessarily a name brand person per se. I like certain brands, but more so because of how they look, not because of the name on it.
Yeah,
Um,
I only believe in paying full price for black brands.
yeah, that's fair.
That's my whole thing. I was like, yeah, I was like, if it's a black brand, yep,
Yeah,
you get all the money. But if it's other stuff, I will wear a knockoff in a hot minute because I'm not paying that.
apparently, didn't they say one of the things was that there's actually no knockoff, that they're the same thing, they're just calling it knockoff.
Nah, the knockoff purses be cheap. They, if you get like the legit ones from like the manufacturers, yes.
Yeah.
But when I'm talking like knockoff, I'm talking going to Chinatown and getting you a bag off because there is a whole street where you just go and they have them just on the ground and you pick out what you want and you buy it like that.
Huh.
That kind of knockoff, yeah, off a what's that canal, off a canal. Um,
Well, apparently
uh,
they cost the same as the manufactured, so.
Yep. I would rather get the manufactured and get it for the low. And at least I know it's quality. That's what it is. It's the difference between the knockoff and the getting
Oh,
it from the
okay.
manufacturers. It's
Yeah.
just the quality of it.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, so that's been going on. I'm not going to advise either way on what you should do, but they're on TikTok if you want to just peruse.
I got them videos saved. I was like, yup, they got the whole sites where you can go and they're in English. So you know what you're buying? It's like, yup.
Yeah.
And there's not in some of the sites they don't have a quantity limit, so you can just or a quantity whatever, so minimum. So you could just buy you one and you're good.
Mm.
I was like, yeah.
They might have messed up with that. In the sense of
Girl,
like,
screaming.
man. Yeah. So this is all very interesting. We shall see. I saw rumors that this is all gonna drop in the sense of like it was all just bluff. But yeah, I was like like I said, it's a rumor that I just saw while I was like scrolling on Twitter earlier, so we'll see. But eh, eh. Um, I don't know. Well, I did see one. I think it was like a historian or analyst. And I don't know if he was from China or just of Chinese descent, but I did see his clip where he was like, China's been around for China's been an established sovereign nation for 5,000 years. Um, whereas us as the United States are still babies at 200, not yet 250. So to that point, he kind of has a point of like, China's been around longer as a sovereign nation. They might know how to survive this, at least the terrorist part.
Right? Like they very well could survive.
They've been around for quite a few dynasties. So I don't see them giving in so easily, but like I said, we'll see. It's all been quite interesting. I just know that I I'm kind of hoping it kind of settles so that I can not worry about paying an extra $200. If it just so happens to be manufactured in China. Anyways, anything else before we close out?
Um, Nothing really.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank y'all for coming out to another episode of the Embassy Talks podcast. We shall catch y'all next time.